everybody. I'm David Blevins. I'm the Director of EMS Education at Roane State. And I'd like to welcome you to the Roane State Community College Paramedic Recognition Ceremony for Cohort 4224-02, or more affectionately known, or named by the class as a catastrophic consequence. What starts on a number, as a number on a piece of paper becomes what we see in front of us today. A group of clinicians forged in effort and bonded for life. We are thrilled and honored to continue our collaboration with Team Health and Dr. Dabbs to provide the students with the luncheon and this paramedic recognition ceremony. As we begin today, help me express our gratitude and appreciation to Team Health for their continued support and making this recognition possible. We've enjoyed a close partnership with Team Health for over 4 decades and looking forward to continuing many more. So Dr. Dabbs, on behalf of us and Team Health, everybody help me appreciate them for doing it. So this is a large group, and I will say this is the largest that we've ever had. And I do see some cameras, and what I will tell you is we'll share a link to this here soon as well. But I'd also like to take a moment to thank our special guests that are in attendance. From our city and county officials, like Mayor Frank, that's going to be our special guest speaker today, and others, as well as our service directors and agency staff. But more importantly, we'd like to take an opportunity to recognize the family and friends that are here. We have told from very early days it takes a village, and without each one of you, this day would not be possible. And the individuals before us have accomplished great feats this year, and to have you here help us recognize them is truly special. So from me, I want to thank you all as well. Thank you for coming. My leadership knows before I do anything, there's 2 groups that I like to recognize when it comes here outside of our students. We're going to spend the majority of time on them. But before we shift our focus to those true stars, the remarkable candidates we're here to celebrate, I want to take the moment to recognize 2 different groups of individuals that were either here or back to help, whose contributions are essential to the success of our program. The first group is the Roane State EMS Program Advisory Board. This board comprises a diverse and dedicated group of stakeholders, including employers, hospital officials, students, graduates, physicians, community members, and college representatives. Their engagement goes far beyond the program's basic requirements, demonstrating an unwavering commitment to excellence. To those advisory board members who are here with us today, I'd ask that you stand and be recognized. But before we do, this group has been recognized by the Tennessee Board of Regents and their academic audit site visit team, as well as most recently last week, our Committee on Accreditation site visit team for being one of the best. So my advisory board members that are able to be here today, please stand, whether you're voting or non-voting members. I know I've got a couple of them here. There's a few that are speaking. So let me have thank those. They make my job really easy. I've got an active advisory board, so they make sure that these guys got everything that they need. The second group I'd like to acknowledge are the unsung heroes of our college. These are the individuals who work tirelessly behind the scenes to keep everything intact and running smooth. Some of you interact with them on a daily basis, and while others operate quietly in the background. Here in a few minutes, you're going to hear from our Vice President of Student Learning, who will undoubtedly echo this sentiment. Roane State thrives because of our incredible efforts of our support staff and administrative assistants. These individuals ensure that we stay on track, meet our timelines, and have the resources necessary to succeed. I specifically want to thank Tammy Robinette, Sherry Reisen, and Tyler Teague, who support us from the Health Science Division office at Harriman. And additionally, I'd like to recognize the 2 that we have here, Jennifer Provine and Christina Beeson, who work diligently on the Knoxville campus. Of course, there are countless others across the college whose contributions allow our EMS program faculty to focus on delivering the exceptional education you deserve. Let's give these incredible individuals a well-deserved round of applause for their hard work. Now we get to the reason why we're here. In the military community, individuals come together to form a collective identity, often represented by a cohort number. Starting at basic military training, this number becomes much more than an identifier. It transforms into a mantra, a source of pride, an enduring symbol of unity and purpose. It serves as a reminder that the group has achieved something far greater than any individual effort. As someone who has sat in their very seats, I can attest to the profound connections that form within a cohort. It becomes a source of lifelong camaraderie and family. Even today, I remain in contact with several classmates, many of whom have spread across the state, yet our bonds remain as strong as ever. The candidates before you began their journey in August of 2024, forming Class 4224-02. This designation is much more than a number. It represents the shared experience, challenge, and triumphs that have united them as a family in EMS. This bond will remain with them throughout their careers and for many throughout their lives. Over the past year, these paramedic candidates before you have demonstrated or dedicated themselves to an intensive and demanding program consisting of over 1,250 hours of lecture, lab, and field work. They have successfully tackled more than 20 rigorous examinations, countless quizzes, clinical rotations across multiple hospitals, and 3 semesters of immersive field experience, all while continuing to serve the communities with dedication and commitment. Now they stand just days away from taking the State of Tennessee practical examination and the National Registry written examination, the final steps towards earning the esteemed State of Tennessee paramedic license. Their hard work, perseverance, and determination are truly commendable. Congratulations to each of you for achieving this significant milestone. Thank you for choosing Roane State as your partner and for becoming part of the Raider Medic family. Now, we start the process of doing what we came here to do and actually recognizing each of you. I've got a few individuals that are going to come up and say a few words. It is a privilege and honor to introduce you to our distinguished guest speaker who will begin this meaningful celebration of the clinicians we recognize today. Our speaker is a steadfast advocate for Mercy Medical Services and a respected leader whose impact resonates far beyond her title. She is no stranger to the EMS community, and through her leadership, she oversees a dynamic and expanding public service that remains deeply committed to the well-being of both the residents and visitors in her community. Her understanding of EMS is not just administrative, it is personal, informed, and purposeful, and she recognizes that the advancement of our profession depends on the leaders who not only support us in word, but in action. And she has done just that. In addition to her role as Mayor of Anderson County, she serves as the Chair of District 2 Homeland Security Council, contributes her expertise to multiple energy councils across the state, and I'm going to go off script here and say she made sure to still be here, even though she has one of those meetings in just a few minutes. So her leadership is felt both in the public eye and behind the scenes, where she continues to shape policy and progress. A lifelong resident of our region, she embodies the values of service, commitment, and community. Please join me in welcoming a true champion in EMS, a dedicated public servant, and a trusted friend, Ms. Terry Frank, Mayor of Anderson County, Tennessee.
Thank you. What is it again? Catastrophic
Consequences.
Consequences. I love it. I love it. Well, good afternoon. I'm so honored to be here today to recognize and praise your hard work, dedication, and commitment, and investment. Let me start by saying how truly proud I am of your accomplishment, and importantly, how appreciative I am of your call to service. I want to read to you what the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics April 2025 report notes about your profession. Overall employment of EMTs and paramedics is projected to grow 6% from 2023 to 2033, faster than the average for all occupations. That's amazing. Faster than the average for all occupations. But then there's this. This is how the Bureau describes your work environment. Most EMTs and paramedics work full-time, and some more than 40 hours per week. Schedules may vary to include nights, weekends, and holidays. Their work may be physically strenuous and stressful, sometimes involving life or death situations. I can testify that, simply put, that's not a work environment description that most people read and think, yeah, I'm going to sign up for that. More than 40 hours, nights, weekends, holidays, stress, life and death situations. But yet, as graduates, here all of you are. This is your pursuit, your calling. To our graduates, I want you to know that people like me, that we know you are a special kind of person, above and beyond. You are respected and appreciated. My own appreciation for EMS began as a teenager when back in the day, when this was allowable, my after-school charge was to go to the Anderson County EMS station headquarters and write down the weekly call reports for the local newspaper. The crews at the headquarters were great people, and they shared many stories with me as I flipped through the reports and jotted down the calls. I have often wondered why there aren't more books with titles like Tales from the EMS Trails. I can say there was a lot of, well, let's say, eye-opening and unusual stuff to report. But more than that, the stories and reports painted the picture of people in need, in crisis, in their most desperate moments, and the heroes who arrived to fix them and to bring calm, peace, direction, and at times, life-saving intervention. EMS dates back centuries to the Greek and Roman eras where chariots were used to remove injured soldiers from the battlefield. From a funding standpoint, though, EMS is relatively young. The current reimbursement model used by Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services and the lack of compensation for non-transport service, as well as the lack of compensation for readiness that is critical for injury response, are big challenges to us at the local level. As paramedics, I'm sure you're going to hear these conversations. Not only is your profession itself demanding, but the funding model is challenged. For EMS, the overlapping responsibilities between healthcare, public health, and public safety creates a level of intersection that often makes it difficult to centralize advocacy in terms of generating greater financial support from state and federal agencies. I can say that in my own 12 years in office, I have seen EMS make steady progress in increasing awareness about the importance of your profession, and I've seen new partnerships form to train and support you and your industry. I want you to know that there is a lot of commitment to keep working to advocate for your profession. Our citizens recognize your importance, but we must keep working to help our funding partners truly understand our citizens' dependence and support for the valuable skills that you provide. In preparing my remarks, I asked AI for a point, and it delivered this. It offered no source, so maybe this is just an AI original, but it is absolutely on point. A special person shines with unique light, a heart of gold, both strong and bright, with kindness woven in every deed, a helping hand, a soul in need. This special soul, a gift to see, a tapestry of worth for all to be. Graduates, each and every one of you, that is you. For the people who live and work and visit the community that you're going back to work in, you are that special person. You have devoted so much time and energy into advancing your skills so that you can put them to work helping people and sometimes saving people. You have chosen a very challenging and demanding profession. A profession where you may not always see your fellow man in his best moment or in the best light, but you've chosen to make a difference for good. That is noticed, it is respected, it is appreciated. I wish you much success in all your days ahead, and I truly thank you from the bottom of my heart. Congratulations, graduates.
So it's kind of interesting, Mayor Frank, so you're up here this time talking about the days of old, and you're actually following the last guest speaker, who was the Anderson County Service Director probably at that time, and Robert Byrd. So thank you, Mayor Frank, for those words. So these graduates here have spent the last year with the next two individuals, but I'm going to calm you and assure you one thing. Neither of them brought a quiz or an example or examination or another ology for you to study. So I'm going to start off by introducing our faculty members and turning it over to our senior lecturer, Mr. Marty Young.
My students will tell you that I have a tendency to ramble and go off on tangents. And so to avoid that today, I have written some things down. Pipe down. Right. It is truly wonderful to see the many friends and family members that have come here today. Thank you for coming out to help celebrate this class of graduating paramedics. They absolutely are deserving of this celebration. But if you'll excuse me, I am going to spend the next few minutes talking directly to my class, though of course the rest of you are welcome to listen in. So, guys, we have been together for almost a year. So you might be thinking that I have already said everything I want to say to you, and you would be wrong. Okay? There are still a lot of things that I want to tell you today, but I won't. I will resist the urge to ramble and go off on tangents, as I sometimes do, and instead I will focus on sharing just two things with you. The first and most important thing that I want to tell you is that I am proud of you. I know you're not done yet. Most of you still have to take the National Registry exam. One person's already done it. Congratulations, Andrew. And all of you still have to do the state practical exam coming up on August the 5th. Okay? But you have made it to this point, and that is no small feat. Now, the second thing I want to tell you is this. Sometimes, when we have been working really hard for a long time to reach a particular goal, like becoming a paramedic, as we get close to achieving that goal, we might begin to question if the goal was really worth all the time and effort, all the blood, sweat, and tears. If you start having those doubts about being a paramedic, I want you to remember this story. It's from a movie called Dead Poets Society. And if you've never seen it, you should. Consider that an assignment.
Can we get a quiz grade for that?
No. So it stars Robin Williams, and he plays a new teacher at a prestigious and very old all-boys boarding school. And on the first day of class, he takes his students out into the hallway where there are these large wooden display cases filled with old trophies and class photos that go back almost 100 years. And while his students are looking at the young people in those old class pictures, he says these words to his class. They're not that different from you, are they? Same haircuts, just like you. Invincible, just like you feel. The world is their oyster. They believe they are destined for great things, just like many of you. Their eyes are full of hope, just like you. Did they wait until it was too late to make from their lives even one iota of what they were capable? Because you see, gentlemen, these boys are now fertilizing daffodils. But if you listen real close, you can hear them whisper their legacy to you. Carpe diem. Seize the day. Make your lives extraordinary. Now, there are, of course, a lot of extraordinary things that you can do with your life. And I am here to tell you that being a paramedic is definitely one of those things. And don't ever doubt it. Sometimes you arrive on the scene to assist a mom deliver a new life into this world, and you are there to help someone take their very first breath. At other times, you are there when a person takes his or her last breath. But because of your actions, they will breathe again and live to see many more years. And sometimes you are there when someone takes their last breath. And despite all of your efforts, their last breath truly is their final breath, and there is nothing you or anyone else can do to change that. Because the truth is, for all of us, our time here on this planet is temporary. Someday, we will all be fertilizing daffodils. So, while you are here, alive and on this planet, you might as well do something extraordinary with your life. And you are. And for that, I am proud of you. Thank you.
Now, what's funny is at this point, 14 years ago, when I first took over, I had the opportunity to do this as well. And Marty had absolutely no knowledge that was getting ready to happen. And so over 14 years, he's prepared very well. And I think he does a really good job at Robin Williams. So thank you, Marty. Next, I'm going to introduce those who have been the opposite side of Marty all year long. And this is Mr. Brett McElroy, our lab faculty and interim clinical coordinator. Brett.
Good afternoon. First off, like Marty was saying, the first breath, y'all are more than welcome to have every one of them, because I don't want to. So, anyway, I can say that yesterday, y'all made me very proud. I put A's down for every one of you. Y'all deserve it. Y'all worked hard. I'm very proud. With that being said, this has been a long year. A lot of changes for me. And y'all have been there for me, and I appreciate it. This is not goodbye. I'll just see y'all out on the streets somewhere. So that's all I got to say. Y'all are going to make great paramedics. All of you that are in here these are some of your all's employees. Y'all got some paramedics coming to you that are going to be very good, and you can be very proud of them. So with that being said, stay strong, and I love y'all.
Now, what Brett doesn't know, I have worked with Mayor Frank through Homeland Security. All the protocol changes for Region 2 are changing. That on his quick response vehicle, he will be responding with all of y'all to any of the imminent delivery calls. So, in 2018, we had a shift at the college, and our divisions combined, and we became the Health Science Division, bringing together more than 20 health science programs that are getting ready to go into an awesome new facility in Knox. For those that don't know, if you want to take a look, go to thrive.ronestate.edu, and you see our bright new campus coming into Knoxville. There's going to be a lot of opportunities. These guys are certainly welcome to come back, but part of that is under the supervision of our dean. I'd like to welcome Dr. Patricia Jenkins, Dean of Health Science, to say a couple words as well.
Some of us are not short, we're vertically challenged. First, I'd like to say congratulations to the class. You have completed a rigorous program of study. I've had the privilege of being in your classes at times, and it is a rigorous program. And congratulations, so give yourself a big hand. Now, I understand there are still 2 major tests, right? All right, and then the rest of my comments I really want to direct to the class. And we're going to take some oral tests. Marty didn't have a test and Brett didn't have a test. I like to give an oral exam. So you have completed the paramedic program. It is part of a larger system. That larger system is known as what? EMS. What does EMS stand for? Emergency Medical Services. So when do you show up on scene? During an emergency. Okay, and by definition, an emergency, is it planned? Unplanned. It's unplanned. So when you arrive on the scene, typically how are you gonna arrive?
Lights and sirens.
Lights and sirens. We're gonna have a big truck, right? We're gonna have big truck. We're gonna have lots of equipment in the truck, right? Gonna have people in the truck, right? People are gonna come out of the truck, right? Okay, is the scene gonna be cool, calm, and collected, or is it gonna be chaotic?
Depends.
There you go, depends, but it tends to be on what spectrum? A little more chaotic. Are your patients going to be cool, calm, and collected, or are they going to be a little anxious?
Anxious.
Probably a little anxious, maybe scared, right? Okay, so here you come in the big truck, lots of lights, lots of sirens, people coming out of the truck. You got things you're bringing, right? You got stretchers you got in the truck. What's the most important equipment that's coming out of that truck? Well, it's inside of a person, but you got it right. You are the most important piece of equipment coming out of that truck. Why are you the most important piece of equipment coming out of that truck? Well, without you, it doesn't work, but what do you have that makes it work? You have knowledge. You have skills. Okay. You have the ability to think, right? So part of that, and I don't want you to forget this, part of that most important piece of equipment that you have is how you approach the scene. It is how you walk, how you present yourself, your tone of voice, how you are talking to the patient. It's either going to convey that you know what you're doing and you're beginning your assessment and you have the scene in charge, or it's going to add to more chaos, right? So how you approach that individual, that scene, is going to convey, I know what I'm doing, and I've got this, and I've got you, and I'm going to take as good a care of you as we possibly can and see you through. And trust me when I say this, that conveys so much how you approach someone, how you convey that. It gives them confidence that it's okay. Chaos is going around, but I've got somebody here to help me. I may not be able to think and do. You may have to say, you go sit. I've got this. Congratulations, and good luck on those next two tests.
Not everybody is vertically challenged, so we have to do the reverse on the, but I won't go too far because of the next individual as well, just saying. I'd like to welcome Director Jonathan Rogers, Chairman of the Roane State Program Advisory Board, to also say a few words. Mr. Rogers.
So, congratulations. What you've accomplished is very hard to do. It takes a lot of time. I want to say thank you to the family and friends that are here, because without your all support, some of these individuals would not have made it. From the Roane State Advisory Board, thank you all for choosing Roane State for your educational advancement. Couple of words. So the advisory board, I think, is just to help David stay on task. So it's a hard job to do. But welcome to a new era within your all's personal growth. Be humble. You all are entry-level paramedics. There's new ways of doing things. There's old way of doing things. There is It's not all right, not all wrong. Just be humble. Take in a lot of knowledge when you're out there. Everybody's going to present a different way, but at the end, they're all sick, right? Our job's to take care of people. So, keep learning. Don't just stop with paramedic. Keep learning. Always learn. Always ask advice, because you don't know everything. I was sitting in your shoes back in 2003, a long time ago, but I don't know everything. Trust me, I run an ambulance service and I don't know everything. That's whew. But keep learning. And again, from the advisory board, thank you all for choosing Roane State. And I'll turn it back over to David. Thank you all.
Not too many times you get the opportunity to invite somebody who's going to come up and heckle you, but it's always a good thing. So now, kind of like Marty, when we started this, I didn't give any guidance. So the next, we always have to a little bit to keep him on task as well, like Jonathan said with me. Next, we have a close and personal friend of mine, co-founder and president of practice development at Team Health, and currently the physician medical director for Knoxville and Knoxville AMR as well. So, Dr. Randall Dabbs, so the floor is yours.
Thank you, David, and thank you for allowing us, Team Health, myself, to be a part of this event for a long period of time. Back almost 40 years ago, my friend of mine, who's another founder of Team Health, was one of the very first directors for the paramedic program back in the 80s. I followed that and learned a lot. Again, I learned so much of what you guys do by after my shift was over. I was the director of the ER at the University Hospital for about 20 years. And I'd get off at 7, 8 o'clock, and I was stupid. And so I would call my friends who were the paramedics and say, hey, Rocky, hey, could you come pick me up at the ER? I want to ride with you guys. And so I'd get out and ride until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning and then go home. And so I cut my teeth by knowing exactly what challenges that you guys have. And I learned a lot. And that's why it just infuriates me when I hear somebody at the ER, might be a nurse, might be a physician, whatever, make some comment about, you didn't do this, or you weren't able to do this, and I'm thinking, you need to go out and you need to ride with these medics, and you see how difficult it is to intubate a patient lying in the floor beside a bed in the dark, and you've got 2 feet of space. It makes things much more interesting, and I don't think you'd be critical of the amazing things that our medics do. So again, proud of the graduates. We need 3 times the 18, if we had that many, but we are very excited about having 18 in East Tennessee and wish we had more. So I really appreciate, again, your faculty, who were many of the people that I have been able to ride with over a period of time when they were young whippersnappers. So a few challenges, and I say these things very seriously, and you'll forget these things, so you might as well forget them now, but I'm going to tell you two anyways. One is that work so hard to put your hand out to every patient that you see. You'll forget this. And just touch them, just a caring touch. You know what it means. You know what it feels like. You've done it. You've felt that empathy for those patients that are, Lord knows how they got in the situation they're in, And we're all like, oh my God, I can't believe that you did that and it caused this. You know what I mean? It's like, well, why did you do that? You're gonna think that, and it's gonna come out. Now, you'll have to bite your tongue and say, you did what? How did you do this again? But it's going to be there. So just be careful just a caring touch for every patient you see. It doesn't have to be more than 3 to 5 seconds. That's enough. And that magic caring that's transmitted through your hand to their bodies will never be forgotten for that patient. And then there are a few things you just have to work to say. You'll have to work to say, I'm glad someone called me to help take care of you. I'm glad someone called. Now you might say, I wish I hadn't gotten the call. But nevertheless, you're there and they're yours. They're yours to take care of. So, and then say, I'm going to take good care of you. You have to tell them that. And you know what? They usually believe you. If you tell them, I'm going to take good care of you, because you are. And then you say, when you deliver them to me or to one of my docs in the ER, you're going to say, they're going to take good care of you. We're going to do our best, but it makes them feel good that they care about you, you care about them, and you're bringing them to the hospital, and you're saying, doesn't matter whether it's Tenova or Covenant or Children's or the University Hospital. We're going to do our very best to take good care of them. Now, sometimes, you're delivering some tough patients in a tough situation when we're up to our, in alligators, and we're not going to say, oh, thank you so much for bringing me this patient who's overdosed, and, I'm so glad you brought him to me. Now, so just don't take it personally, right? Because we're all uptight at times. Y'all get uptight. We'll get uptight. Forgive us for sometimes we say, inopportune times, but we're going to take good care of them, and so at the end, say, I'm glad we could help you as you're transferring. I'm glad we could help you as you have that caring touch, and I hope you feel better soon. Because those are things that we all want to hear from people who are experts in taking care of us, and that's you guys now. All right, so that's not the hardest job. The hardest job is when it's not your heart attack, it ain't your broken bones, it's not your pneumonias or wheezing kids, it's none of those things, right? Those are easy. Those are the easy things you do. Those are the easy things I do in the ER. The hardest job is taking care of the people who are just in a miserable state and who kind of, maybe they have an addiction. Those are the hardest people that you will have to deal with. So I wrote this on the blackboard at the University Hospital. Was there for about 15 years. It said, we are measured by how we care for the least of us. And those people are the least of us that are in situations with addictions that is the saddest in my world. But what I want you to think about, just never lose sight of your humanity, and just thank God that you are not in that situation. But we all have people and family members, right, who are probably have an addiction to some substance. And it's tough for us, it's tough for them. I can't imagine how bad it is. But you'll just have to help overcome that, and thank God that you're not, that's somebody's daughter. That's somebody's child. They didn't start out that way. And just try to remember that, because it will be difficult. Those are the challenges that I give to you, because I have lived those challenges, and I still have those challenges of taking care of people who are not as blessed as we are to have been able to get to this point. So thank you so very much for all you do.
As Jonathan will tell you, the advisory board did not put the script together, but he knows that I'd need it. So a couple things, I absolutely remember everything. I remember the words of Charlie Williams, who was a EMS faculty from another institution or sister institution of the East. Some patients only need a kind word and a gentle touch. But what I really want to know is what hospitals are housing alligators in there, and I would personally like dispatch to know when they're there, so none of them are having to take that. So thank you, Dr. Dabbs, and your continued support. Great friend, and we appreciate you. Do you care if I share your news today as well? So not only is he a supporter from his role, but had the opportunity to work through with Dr. Dabbs, and his son actually is finishing the steps to become an EMT on his role to being a physician as well, so it's always great to have those. And welcome to the...
Pass today, that's it. Pass today.
So, that's a great opportunity. Now I'd like to ask Vice President Diane Ward, I invite the Vice President of Student Learning and Chief Academic Officer at Roane State Community College to share a few words. She's also going to share on behalf of our president, who is learning all things nuclear today. So if you would, help me recognize Dr. Ward to the stage.
Thank you. On behalf of the president, oh no, I don't think I'm having a stroke. I just don't think I can talk all of a sudden. No, on behalf of the president, let me congratulate our graduates. The best thing about Roane State sits in front of us. That's our students. And everything that we do, every business meeting, I know the president says over and over again, we filter it through one main filter, and that's our students. So everything we do is to get you to this point. And for that, I am so proud to be here with you, watching you celebrate this great occasion. I wanted to thank Mayor Franklin, and she had to step out, and I wanted to thank Dr. Dabbs because, you know, he supports you. He continues not only with his words of encouragement, but also his financial support to host this lunch, and so for that, I wanted to say thank you. We'll also say all the wise words that you've heard today. I think when I wrote down just a couple of things on my little sheet of paper of what can I possibly say, and I think I had confirmation as I heard each one speak. I've often heard it said that a good healthcare provider, someone who's good, a good physician, a good EMT, a good paramedic, is someone that can treat and take care of the situation. You know, I want someone to tell me, you got this, right? I got this. It's broke, I can fix it. It's all good. Somebody who can take care of the situation. But I've always heard that a great healthcare provider is somebody who takes care of that person. And I think Dr. Dabbs talked about that. Someone who is, without question, having the worst day. In some ways, they look back and say, I was blessed on that day that you were there to take care of me. But on their worst day, when they're aggravated and frustrated, and so is all their family, right? Everybody talking to you. But I do want to encourage you to see that person. And I'm so blessed to know that you're going to be in our service area where I have family members. I hope I never see any of you on the job, but it does give me comfort to know that my friends and family will be taking care of you out in the field. The other thing I want to mention is Roane State is here for you as you do your professional development and those continuing education units. The other thing is, as you look around, you never know. You're sitting beside someone today, tomorrow you're working with them in a different atmosphere. You're their supervisor, they're your supervisor, and you never know when you're going to see friends in the crowd. And so, Sarah, thank you for sharing just a moment today. Her husband's graduating, and we had a little moment of many years back. You never know how things circle back around. So, congratulations again. Don't forget Roane State. We're so proud of you, and we're so honored that you chose Roane State for us to help you along this journey. Thank you.
All right. Dr. Ward is actually right. There's actually scientific research that treating the mental side of an injury or illness actually helps them heal faster and more holistically. So seeing that. So I'd like to ask Dr. Ward to stay here. I'd also like Dr. Dabbs to return, and we're going to help celebrate everybody that's here. We're going to take the opportunity to recognize each one of you on your accomplishments. And one of the things that we started doing, if you'll just a second, one of the things that we started just a couple of years ago is giving you all your first ever paramedic badge. So we're going to do that. So what you're going to do is come up here in just a moment and cross across here, and they will have a patch and a card for you. Thought I gave him. So here's a little thing when Marty finishes here. If you ever want to have some fun, you see Dr. Dabbs out. So one of the best stories he ever told in one of these ceremonies is he was at the University of Tennessee University of Tennessee football games and leaving, and there was a patient that was unconscious on the ground, and they all wanted him to take care of him. He goes, get the professionals that know how to take care of this out there. So we absolutely do. So again, we're going to recognize each one of you again as you call up, come through, shake the hands, and get your first ever paramedic patch. We start with Emily Allison Ash. I apologize, logistics, but I was going to do this. We're going to start with Dr. Dabbs and go to the right because Sandy is going to catch you at the very end in front of the blue screen to take your picture. So go down there to the right. For Pigeon Forge Fire Department, Aaron Abushan. Like this one. That's what now. Tim Behringer. Oak Ridge Fire Department, Brian Glee. American Medical Response from Knoxville Operation, Christian Harmon. Anderson County EMS, Jesse Hill. Anybody that goes back just a little bit, letting them a little bit of time, I may need to start adding a little bit of music here, kind of like the NBA starting lineup. Now starting. From Pigeon Forge Fire Department, Braxton Hudson. American Medical Response, Knoxville Operation, Alex Idle. Rural Metro Fire Department, Jackson Irwin. From his home territory, Knoxville Fire Department, Zach Lamson. Anderson County EMS, Andrew Lane. Grace, by the way, is the first to have accomplished or taken his National Registry written, and he has actually met all but one requirement, so he is on the path as well. So setting the stage there. Roane County EMS, Jacob Martin. Anderson County EMS, Brooklyn Murphy. Priority Ambulance Service Loudon, John Queener. American Medical Response Knoxville Operations, Egan Raines. That's all I can hear right now. American Medical Response Flood County Operation, Jennifer Ringeisen. Pigeon Forge Fire Department, Camel, Ray Smith. And also representing the Knoxville Fire Department, Ethan Tompkins. Hey guys, while they finish their picture, this represents a 2024-2025 cohort. We're going to recognize them here in just a minute, but let's give them a round of applause. I'm going to go off script just a little bit, but I'm going to ask Dr. Ward, Brett, and Marty, they can go ahead and take a seat. I'll have Dr. Dabbs. I would actually like to have our paramedic graduates stand and help me recognize those that are behind us. So everybody here, this is the largest group of individuals we have ever had. Whether they're employers, families, or friends, every one of y'all have made this happen. So graduates, help me in recognizing those individuals. All right, they can go ahead and take a seat. I'm asking Dr. Dabbs to remain with us as we present one of the program's most distinguished honors, the Roane State Paramedic of the Year. This tradition, made possible through our longstanding relationship and partnership with Team Health, recognizes an individual who is selected by their peers for their exemplary qualities. The recipient is chosen for their outstanding leadership in the classroom, mastery of the curriculum, and overall professionalism and character. This year's honorees will join an elite group of past recipients who've gone on to achieve remarkable success in their careers. Among them are individuals who have become EMS service directors, emergency response coordinators, fire chiefs, physicians assistants, and this was a first not too long ago, one that was actually on an NFL roster. It is now my privilege to announce the 2024-2025 Roane State Paramedic of the Year. But I get to tell a little story. It shouldn't be too hard to figure out who it is once I get started, but every year the selection of our Paramedic of the Year brings forward some truly remarkable stories. And this year's recipient is no exception. In fact, their journey is so unique it might just deserve its own documentary. Before joining the world of EMS, this individual earned a bachelor's degree and spent years soaring, literally, through the world of competitive show jumping, while many of us were trying to survive college finals, clearing fences on horseback with style and grace. But her talents don't stop at the stable. She's also a gifted musician, playing the French horn every Sunday in church for the past 16 years. That's right, while others are sleeping in, she's hitting high notes in harmony in life. In the classroom, she is nothing short of exceptional. Whether in lecture or lab, she's consistently demonstrated academic excellence, curiosity, and professionalism. But what truly sets her apart is her generosity. She's gone above and beyond to support her classmates by sharing study materials, helpful resources, and encouragement, and lifting everyone around her in the process. And then there's her flair for the dramatic. Educationally speaking, of course, when it comes time to teach about environmental emergencies, she just didn't bring notes, she brought a snake. Yes, a real one, to help the class understand the difference between an eastern coral snake and a scarlet king snake. That's a commitment to craft and possibly a test of our collective heart rates. Her love for animals doesn't stop there. In addition to her horse and snake, she has spent a year working in a pet crematorium. But when she commits to understanding the full spectrum of life, she means it. She's a scholar, a mentor, a musician, an animal lover, and above all, a compassionate and capable clinician. Her journey to EMS may have taken a few unexpected turns, but it is clear she's exactly where she's meant to be. Please help me in joining this year's Paramedic of the Year, Jennifer Roane. Now, the one impromptu area that I love to have, ma'am, you have the stage. Go ahead, you can address it.
I appreciate the honor. I thank you guys. Wasn't really expecting to be standing up here talking to the class. I appreciate every single one of you guys. It's been a really fun journey. I couldn't have done it without a lot of moral support. Unfortunately, most of my family is not here today. My husband lives in Memphis, Tennessee. He's active duty Navy, so he's not here. So I trust you guys as my family, and I hope to see you all on the road.
All right. Because I did have some logistical stuff earlier, I need to clean this up before we go. I know there's going to be a lot of opportunity to take photos. I want to shake hands and stuff like that. What I will say is for our class, we make our way to the other side for just a moment. We're going to take a class photo. Jennifer, I apologize, but getting the plaque, you get to take a couple extra photos as well. So we'll do that right after we get started. So now the one thing is the class knows, but everybody else. So one of the things we love is history in our field. So these pictures actually hang in our classrooms, and we'll be moving to our new campus. Now I get to the very last page of the script. I want to ask everybody, basically from the second row back, take this opportunity to recognize these 18 in front of us. They're going to go forth and do great work. They're almost there. They're going to serve our communities across East Tennessee very well anytime somebody needs. So now I ask each and every one of you to help me recognize this class. 2024-2025, go forth and do great things. Congratulations.